Oh hey look, I'm back. So the new Guts and Blackpowder update is out, and less than 3 months after the last one. Usually updates take around 3 to 4 months to come out, so this was definitely a pleasant surprise.
Wish it came out later though.
The new maps, regiments, and game modes are all pretty good in my opinion, and the callouts are just oh my god, they're amazing. However, you know why I'm here, the weapons. You know me, I kinda like to talk about the weapons in this game. And we got 3 new ones this update, all of them being for line infantry. Which is fine, I guess, though I personally think classes like the Surgeon and Priest are a bit overdue for some new unlocks. But hey, more weapons is more weapons nonetheless, so I'm not complaining. Anyway, I held a poll for which weapon I should review first, and you guys voted overwhelmingly for the Heavy Saber, so I bet you can guess what this video is about. Look at that ratio, man. I know this is probably the best weapon they added this update, but damn. Also, give some love to the Horse Artillery, man. Come on. Alrighty, enough wasting your time. It's time to answer the question, is the Heavy Saber good? Okay, let's face it, this video is mostly just going to be a tutorial on how to use the thing, but I need a catchy title, okay? Okie dokie, stat time. The Heavy Saber costs 500 francs and is only available for the line infantry. It being, you know, heavy, means it swings much slower than the normal saber. The side swing is 0.7 seconds, which is 0.15 seconds slower than the normal saber, while the bottom thrust actually seems on par with the regular saber, which is 0.3 seconds. It also has a top thrust that's pretty slow, comparing it to the bayonet's up thrust here, and yeah, you can definitely see the difference. Another big downside of the Heavy Saber compared to the regular saber is the fact that its side swings only deal 27 damage.
Hold on, wait a minute. That's only 3 less damage than the regular saber, so it can't be that bad, right?
Is what you just probably verbally said. And hey, that's a good point. Wait.
Do you smell it? That smell. A kind of smelly smell. A smelly smell that smells. Smelly.
Oh, would you look at that? Runners have 30 health, meaning you can't one-shot them anymore. Okay, that's definitely a huge downside. I mean, come on, you swing slower and deal less damage per swing? There must be something to make up for these downsides, right? Well, to start, the side swings slow down zombies. I don't really know why this is a thing, it doesn't do all that much, but it exists, I guess. Secondly, both the up and down thrust deal increased damage, 43 to be exact, which is only 2 damage less than the hand axe. This combined with the fast downswing means you've got yourself a pretty decent option for crowd control, especially if you know how to flick. Like the bayonet, the upswing is great for getting headshots, and boy do they pack a punch, dealing close to 100 damage. You can also use flicking with the attack to headshot large crowds, which is incredibly useful and surprisingly consistent. The Heavy Saber is also longer than the saber, I know, shocker, up to 2 studs longer in fact with the up and down thrusts, which I found to be highly effective against runners, sappers, and hordes in general because it allows you to take them on from a safe distance. The Heavy Saber also borrows the bayonet's charge ability, meaning any zombie you touch during the charge instantly gets hit. It doesn't have the increased damage like the bayonet and pike when charging, however, so you'll most likely need to hit the same zombie multiple times during a charge to kill it, but that sounds a bit like nitpicking to me. Anything else? No? Alright, good, on to the fun part. Alright, when it comes to using the Heavy Saber, first of all, don't use the side swing. Let me explain. Now this may be a bit difficult to understand, but my reasoning is that, hear me out for a second, its damage is nearly as low as the Priest stake, meaning it can't one-shot runners, and it swings slower. Yeah, okay, I know it has more range than the normal saber, and it slows down zombies when you hit them, and the headshot damage makes it semi-usable, albeit still worse than the regular saber when it comes to crowds. But when compared to the up and down attacks the Heavy Saber also has, it's not really that useful in like 90% of situations. Now it isn't completely useless, it can sometimes be beneficial to slow down zombies if you don't have the time to kill them, especially when you're kiting or playing on hardcore.
Shout out to the one hardcore player in the audience.
But if you really want crowd control, I don't know, use the hand axe, it's much better now. Instead, you want to focus on using your up and down thrusts for horde clearing.
But you wait here a second. The thrusts clearly aren't good
for crowd control is what you think. However, dear viewer, let me introduce you to a little known thing called
flicking.
Oh, I brought that up already? I brought that up minutes ago. Well, what are you gonna do about it? Huh? If you don't know what flicking is or how to do it, here's a simple step-by-step guide. Step 1, toggle on shift lock. Step 2, swing your saber. Step 3, quickly flick your camera either left or right while swinging your saber. And boom, you've just learned how to flick. Thank you. Hey, thanks for coming out. Yeah, I tried. Using the flicking technique with the downswing essentially allows you to deal 13 more damage compared to the regular saber with increased swing speed and range, which is incredibly powerful. And yeah, it does do less damage than a normal saber headshot, however it's still enough to break lots of damage thresholds, specifically on objective maps. And hey, if it's headshots you want, you can always use the upswing. Headshots are also still, pretty rarely, a bit finicky with the upswing because not every map has perfectly flat ground all throughout, though assuming you and the zombie are both standing on leveled ground, you're almost guaranteed to hit a headshot. You can also use flicking to headshot multiple zombies, which is pretty cool. Side note, even when I'm fighting a single zombie, I still end up flicking for some reason. Like, I swear it's just hard-coded into my brain at this point. I've been using this weapon for too long, man. Get creative! Use the extended range of the heavy saber to kill zombies in places you couldn't with any other weapon. Well, I mean, besides the pike, but come on. Nobody uses the pike. Please buff the pike, you buff the hand axe, why can't we have this? What primary you're using should also be taken into consideration when you're running the heavy saber. I usually find myself running it when I'm not using either the musket or pike, simply because I feel like the charge ability is meant to encourage you to use a primary weapon that, well, doesn't have that. Meaning I'm usually running either the carbine, rifle, or horse artillery pistol. And wouldn't you know, it works incredibly well for all of them. Though personally, I choose to run it with the horse artillery pistol. I mean, come on, its reload speed is only 4 seconds slower than the musket, it holds 2 bullets, has a reload cancel after shooting only 1 bullet, which is something the DB pistol lacks, mind you, and has a decently accurate second shot. The only thing bad about it is the lack of bayonet or shove and the fact that the first shot is incredibly inaccurate, but what kind of world do you think we're living in? There has to be something to balance this thing out. The carbine and rifle are great too, especially the carbine, which I personally think is about on par with the horse artillery in my opinion, just because it allows you to be so mobile. That extra move speed while reloading plus the faster reload speed in general, coupled with the decent accuracy and damage, make the carbine a very decent all-rounder. And hey, even though I don't find it useful, the shove is pretty fun. The rifle in general is a bit meh in my opinion. It's good for taking out zappers due to it ignoring the headshot resistance, along with the British Navy men on Copenhagen, specifically on this part where you can just snipe them from the start of the map. Come to think of it, the heavy saber pairs with pretty much everything, it's just so good. I mean, the upswing is kinda slow and the side swing can one-shot runners and is also kinda slow, but you know, we can move past that, right? Speaking of the upswing being slow, yeah, that ain't looking too good. I wonder how we can make its swing speed just a little bit quicker. Oh, seriously, the drums make this thing insanely good for taking out hordes, especially when camping behind a barricade. I like to make this point in almost all of my videos, but just like the surgeon, sapper, and priest, musicians are insanely useful to have on your team. Having the drums boost your swing speed along with the bugle doubling your damage kind of feels like playing the game on easy mode, especially when you have multiple people using the heavy saber at the same time. So as painfully obvious as it may sound, protect your musicians, damn it. You know, I'm genuinely struggling to find a way to make this script longer. I guess it's pretty good on hardcore because of the higher damage, but I spent a week writing this script and this is the best I came up with. Am I rusty? This is by far the worst script I think I've ever written. I said it out loud, so yeah. Use it in hardcore. It's pretty good in hardcore. So it's time to answer the question I asked at the start of this video. Is the heavy saber good? Well, in my completely unbiased opinion, yes, absolutely. I mean, come on, this thing is nuts. It's sort of like a saber, hand axe, and bayonet hybrid in a way, which is a pretty cool idea. I've seen some people try to say it's a direct upgrade compared to the normal saber, and on paper, it definitely seems like it. Though in my experience, while it is good for crowd control, the normal saber will always have a higher damage output and be more consistent no matter which way you slice it. It may be incredibly easy to hit headshots with the upswing, but its slow swing rate makes it, again, worse than the saber and even the hand axe for crowd control, which both have faster swing rates. And let's not forget that damage. However, it's not just a direct downgrade either. The range allows you to take out zombies from further away, the downswing is great for crowd control, and the charge ability, while being worse than the pike and bayonets, is still incredibly useful and powerful. So, with all of that in mind, my final score for the heavy saber is 9 out of 10. Just like the regular saber, it's really never a bad time to use this weapon. I mean, I used it to solo Leipzig, so it can't be that bad, right? But what do you think? Am I completely wrong about this weapon? Do you think your opinion is better than mine? Well, do you, punk? Well, in that case, comment your thoughts down below. I will definitely respect your opinion. I'd also like to say before this video's over, yes, I know I haven't uploaded an actual video in close to 2 months, and yeah, I'm sorry for that. Got some Blackpowder has just been pretty boring lately, however I am starting to get back into it, and there will be more videos in the future. Thank you for all of your patience. Anyways, you know the rest. Like the video if you liked it, Subscribe if you'd be so kind. Join my Discord if you want to mess around with my mentally ill audience. And this is me, signing out. Goodbye.
Hold on, wait a minute. That's only 3 less damage. Fuck. Hold on, that's